Previously on Power Reviews. Welcome to Year 1, some New Year's resolutions. We'll be reviewing all 7 final episodes of Super Samurai. Make some new friends. Hi! This isn't going too well. And now, Database Rangers Power Reviews. Greetings, Ranger fans, and welcome to Power Reviews. Now, I know we've discussed a number of different topics here, ranging from origin stories to season structure, but today I would like to talk about something a little bit more controversial. Gender roles.
Really?
What?
Last week, you nearly received a concussion because you didn't know how to deal with female undergarments. I hardly think you're qualified for this discussion.
Well, yeah, good point. So I'll keep this short. Power Rangers has not had the best track record with female characters, especially in creating realistic female role models. In particular, female Rangers in recent years have had the unfortunate habit of either being absurdly hyper-competent or comically ineffective. With Samurai and Super Samurai...
Not again!
Yeah, they fall towards the low end of the spectrum, which makes the character introduced here all the more pivotal. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's recap some relevant plot points. Doctor?
Decker has regained his sword, Uramasa. Dayu has regained her repaired harmonium. Xandrid has been recovering in the Sanzu River from his recent foray into the human world. And Serator has been destroyed, which comprised the entirety of the recent plot contribution by the Samurai Rangers.
What, nothing for Octoroo?
His absence has been noted and deemed irrelevant.
Well, at least the Rangers are beating out one villain in terms of plot development. Not that I necessarily have a problem with their reduced screen time, but let's see if they can turn things around and take center stage again, as we enter the season's final arc with episode 16 of Power Rangers Super Samurai, Fight Fire with Fire. For what is finally the last time, we open with a training sequence, as Mia observes Jaden practicing alone, and spots the oddly slow arrival of a mysterious message.
The Shiba family crest.
Which means it must be important, because it's not as if that crest is seen all that often, like on their costumes, their practice outfits, their front door, or their fresh-baked cookies. Jaden reads the letter, which is apparently in a coded cross of English script and Japanese.
This changes everything.
Did you win a free cruise?
The other Rangers will finally know my secret.
Well, that's cool too. Finally tired of stalking Decker, Dayu returns to the Sanzu River, and a lonely Octoroo warmly welcomes her back. With Xandrid still recovering, they decide to take out the Red Ranger in his absence, and summon Fiera, a catty harpy of a Nylok. Not saying that she's a harpy just because she's our first female monster, or that women are harpies. She's a bird monster, and let's move on. Octoroo gives her a set of fire flashers, a weapon specially designed to take down the head of the Shiba clan.
These are filled with evil flames from the Sanzu River.
If your river is catching fire, I think you may have a serious pollution problem.
Every time they strike, it'll make the fire within him burn and destroy him from the inside out.
The gap sensor detects the Nyloks, and the Rangers race out to meet them at their local Japanese temple. What, doesn't every American park have one of those? Fiera observes their battle with the Moogers spill over into the nearby forest, ambushing Jaden with a quick fire flasher attack. After seeing how the attack is giving their leader a literal case of heartburn, the others quickly come to his aid, working together to shield him from her assault. And not doing a particularly good job of it.
Why is that just happening to him? I'll tell you why.
Do you have to?
The head of the Shiba family has massive fire symbol power. My fire flashers simply ignite the flames already inside him.
Do we need to talk again about exposition?
We must protect Jaden and the sealing power.
What did I just... Actually, that was appropriate. But only because this is the first time you've mentioned it all season. So Fiera continues to take pot shots at the team, sniping each and every one of them, much to Jaden's dismay. After a particularly brutal teleport spam attack, he decides that he can't let them fight on his behalf anymore, and goes Super Samurai mode to draw the Nylok away. As her final blast forces a demorph, he spins around mid-air and unleashes the power of the Super Bullzooka, destroying Fiera before collapsing to the ground. The others rush to his aid, and Jaden passes the black box off to Kevin, just in time for the defeated Nylok to return as a mega monster. Meanwhile, hidden in the bushes, Dayu and Octoroo try to figure out how the Red Ranger managed to survive.
There's only one explanation.
Plot contrivance? As the Rangers battle Fiera, they find that the power of the Claw Armor Megazord is no match for the Nilok's incredible speed, and are quickly ripped apart, while woozy Jaden spots the approach of a blurry blonde figure from the woods.
Jaden, don't worry. I'll handle this.
The Zords assume their emblem forms, and just as the monster is about to break through their brilliant defense strategy, the Line Folding Zord leaps to the rescue. Before the baffled team has a chance to figure out what's happening, the new pilot starts whipping out the one-liners.
And your harebrained moves end here, now. Hair like yours needs a good blow dry.
Is there a reason all the new female Rangers' quips must be based around hair?
I didn't say, well, the monster does have daggers that shoot out her hair, and... Anywho, the mysterious new Red Ranger busts out the Pentagonal Fury attack to finish off Fiera once and for all.
It only takes one folding sword to take out the only female monster to appear. Interesting.
This doesn't make any sense.
I know! Why would anyone prioritize monster banter over introductions? Am I right? So the others rush to Jaden's side, and are quickly joined by the new Ranger, who demorphs to reveal her identity.
She's my big sister. Huh? Lauren.
Oh, you can definitely see the resemblance in their strong Japanese heritage. While all the other Rangers have perfectly reasonable questions to ask, Mia is quick to welcome her, the earlier letter scene having apparently clued her into the upcoming plot twist. Back at home, G fills in the rest of the team on Lauren's backstory. As we know from Origins, when she and Jaden were both still children, their father had been engaged in a climactic battle against the Nilok. Like any reasonable parent, when it was clear that things were going south, he pinned everything on his two young children. Lauren was sent into hiding to master the sealing symbol, while Jaden would protect the world as Red Ranger in her stead. To buy them time and to prevent another Justin situation,
Guys, I'm the new Blue Ranger.
their father cast an imperfect seal on Master Xandrid, temporarily sending him to the bottom of the Sanzu River until a true seal could be mastered.
To deceive the Nilok, Jaden had to do one of the hardest things in the whole world. Hide it from his best friends.
G's right. Andros barely managed 5 episodes before the Rangers found out about his sister. Meanwhile, Jaden and Lauren do their best to catch up on the years they spent apart.
I thought of you often.
Aw, that's sweet.
Lauren, you know we can't be together now.
What?
I had hoped that maybe there would be some way.
Okay, this conversation just took a turn for the weird.
If I stay, dangerous mistakes could be made. There can only be one Red Ranger.
Oh, okay. I thought... You know what, it's not important what I thought. Let's move on. Jaden has determined that his team has become far too loyal to him, and is afraid they may choose to protect him over Lauren if push comes to shove. So he insists that he must leave, so that she can finally assume her rightful place as leader of the team. Oblivious to the impending forced dramatic conflict, the Rangers prepare a welcome meal for Lauren out on the patio. As she sits down to join them, Mike admires the old-school kanji writing style of her late father's samuraizer.
Mike has kanji issues.
I know! It's almost like he's never used the word before. He keeps calling them samurai symbols, and the rest of us just play along. Sadly, Jaden arrives to ruin the party. Healed up, packed up, and ready to go.
What's the deal?
You all need to follow Lauren now. I'm going away.
Well, that's perfectly understandable. Have a good trip. Would you like a slice of cake for the road? Although the team is baffled and upset by the news, Jaden insists that Lauren's sealing power means that she must take priority. Antonio protests that they need him too, but his fervent pleading can't argue with the unbreakable logic of the Shiba sibling silence. They grudgingly accept his decision, and Jaden bids his farewells to the team, urging them not to follow him. That night, the Rangers all bemoan his departure, wondering how they can possibly go on without him, and completely ignoring the tiny little fact that his replacement is sitting right there. Nice tact, guys! Refusing to be without his best friend, Antonio takes advantage of his lack of a samurai heritage, rejecting the new status quo and leaving to find him.
I'm sorry, Lauren. I'm sure you're a great samurai. But it's just not the same without Jaden.
Dude, not cool. And that's the end of our episode. So what did I think of it? Well, Just like with the last three, we have what should be a really strong episode. But unfortunately, despite some really interesting ideas, we are once again bogged down by a shakily fleshed out story without a clean execution. Much like with Serrator's arc, the secret plan concocted by Jaden and Lauren's father does do a good job of adding a sense of purpose and context to earlier episodes, helping to explain a number of Jaden's actions throughout the series, especially during Jaden's challenge and the Master returns. Oh, not his whining, just his failure to use the sealing power against Master Xandred. Ironically, while it does help to provide motivations for past actions, where this episode starts to fall apart is in providing motivations for what's actually happening now. Not only does Octoroo's plan feel contrived in terms of timing, but the targeting of the true head of the Shiba clan feels like an oddly specific plot device designed to expose Jaden's secret. Perhaps if his explanation had focused on the sealing symbol, and how that requires massive amounts of fire symbol power, then things would have made a bit more sense. But this pales in comparison to the true dramatic conflict of the episode, which is of course Jaden's departure. Considering his claims of the team being too loyal, leaving is more likely to tear them apart than make them rally around a new leader. This not only weakens the emotional climax of the episode, but disrupts the structural pacing as well. I won't go into too much detail on 3-act storytelling, but I will say that most PR episodes end on an action-oriented climax. If you want to move that to earlier in the episode, that's great, but it needs to be strong. Otherwise, it's just on the level of the action climax and everything ends up feeling unfocused.
Really?
What?
You're talking about story structure now.
I was just trying to
ignore the most relevant part of the episode.
No!
First female Red Ranger, and you just gloss right over it.
Well, technically that would be Charlie of SPD's A Squad, but she was evil and does chronologically come later, so she would be the first female team leader. No, that would be Delphine of the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. And Jen would be the first female leader of an Earthbound full season team, but the chronology of that situation is a little dicey since it is Time Force, so it could be argued she was promoted in the future. But you are right, Lauren is chronologically the first female Red Ranger to lead a primary Ranger team. Narrow superlative though that may be, it is a relevant one. And although the impact of her introduction is somewhat lessened by the cheesy banter, she does come across as serious-minded, kind-hearted, and very competent. And all awkward subtext aside, her private scene with Jaden is one of the better performed moments of the season.
It's a shame that it simultaneously does so much to undermine her character.
Right. Wait, what?
Once again, we have a perfectly competent female ranger deferring to her male counterpart.
But she's taking over leadership of the Rangers.
No, she's accepting leadership of the Rangers, which I'll admit is admirable. But despite being the de facto leader by both birthright and ability, she's still deferring to decisions made by the male Red Ranger. He's leaving despite her expressed wishes, and she's doing nothing to prevent this.
Do you want to do this analysis?
No. I have far more important things to do.
Alright then. Well, as I was saying.
But if there had at least been a consensus between the two, it would have shown a leader who was inclusive in her decisions, which would have provided a much better explanation for the departure, which was supposedly the climax of the episode.
Isn't this supposed to be Database Rangers power reviews?
Well, then you should obviously be putting more thought behind your analysis.
Fine. You know what? You review the next episode.
What?
You seem to think you can do a better job.
Well, I do have the superior research experience.
Fine, then that's what we'll do. In the meantime, I will say that overall, this is a fairly underwhelming introduction to an interesting new character that looks to act as the herald of Super Samurai's final arc. So make sure to join us next time, when Dr. K will be taking a look at The Great Duel.
Another duel?
Until then, farewell Ranger fans, and let the power protect you.